Hello everyone, today I'm going to perform a oil change on my 2006 SV650S, and let's go over what we need today. According to the manufacturer, you don't have to change the oil filter every oil change, only every other, but I believe it's cheap insurance, and it can't hurt. Today I have a K&N filter, and I chose K&N because they're superior quality. They just filter much better than Fram or things like that. Fram, don't ever use Fram. They have cardboard components inside, and honestly I don't want cardboard to filter my oil. I want something much better. So if you're wondering, the part is KN138. So let's open it up just to have fun and look at it. Now the neat thing about this filter is that instead of using a wrench, one of those wrenches that you gotta grab on here, it actually has a bolt that you can use to tighten it, and the bolt is the same size as the pan bolt. And if you are a track racer, you use it on the track, some tracks, they will require you to safety wires some parts on your bike, including the oil filter. And this one, I don't know if you can see it, is has a hole right here, pre-drilled hole for safety wire. So let's put that back for now. Let's look at the other stuff. I have a funnel, and I picked up this funnel at the auto parts store because it has measuring. You can measure how many ounces, pints, and milliliters. We're gonna use milliliters today. And has a nice valve here, nice tube. So yeah, that's not. And we got this for about $6. Just an oil pan, nothing fancy about that. I'm sure you guys know what this is. And we're gonna need a 17 mil socket wrench for that, for the oil plug and the filter and the oil. Now there are some interesting things about the oil. I'm using the diesel oil actually, which is kind of weird. The problem is that it's not a problem, it's just that it's cheaper and it works really good because it can lubricate really well, and it's used on trucks and things like that require a lot of they go through a lot of strain, the parts, the components, the engine, gears, and this does a really good job, and it's really cheap. I picked up this for about $20. So let's get started. Alright, so we place the pan over here, and just make sure everything is tight. And what you want to do, I just came home from a ride, so the engine oil is quite warm, and you want to warm up the oil first because it becomes a little bit thinner and it flows better. So you will have the oil coming out a little bit faster and more of it in less time. So with that said, let's get the wrench. And actually the socket wrench is 14, not 17. The other day I was using a 17 on a friend's bike, which was SV1000. This is a 650, and we use a 17. This is a 14 mil, so it works fine now. There you go. So be careful if you just went on a ride, it's probably gonna be still pretty hot. So just be careful when you let the thing go, because it's gonna pour on you and it could be pretty hot. So just do it on the side like this and just let it drop. There's a filter here, so it's not gonna let it go inside. So just let it drop. There you go. Now just let it drain by itself for a while. That's pretty black. It's only 2,000 miles, you know. Did the oil change 2,000 miles ago? Mind you, the oil is still pretty good, you know. It's not that you, at 2,000 miles, the oil is crap. Really, you could go up to maybe 4,000, 5,000 miles without having the bike getting, you know, having any problems. The manufacturer suggests to change the oil, I think, every 5,000 kilometers, which I think is around 4,000 miles or so. But you know, this is cheap insurance, and plus it's fun. You know, it's not that expensive. Every 2,000 miles, you know, depending on how much you ride, you know, it could be every 3 months, 4 months. Oh, there's a little bit of wind. So, not really a huge deal. I enjoy working on my bike, so I just do it. It's still flowing, still dripping. In a little bit we're gonna unscrew the oil filter right here. Now this version of this bike does not have a belly pan, which is a plastic cover like this. In case your bike has it, probably you're gonna have to use a 4mm Allen wrench to undo 4 bolts, 2 on each side, and it comes off pretty easy. If it's the full fairing, you know, if it's the full fair version, I don't know, I haven't worked on that one, but probably it's gonna have to be the same thing. You're gonna have to at least undo the bottom so you can take them apart.